So today we're going to get started seated. Now, I like to sit cross-legged. For you, that might be legs out. You can pop a pillow underneath, whatever feels good for you. And then just bring your hands to the top of the thighs, on top of the knees maybe, if that's more comfortable. Roll the shoulders back and down, and just to take a moment to really tap into yourself, I suggest closing down the eyes or just lowering the eye gaze. And just here, notice where the breath is. If you're taking, short, sharp breaths, or you might be taking some deep belly breaths or somewhere in between. I want you to take just a scan throughout the body, noticing how the energy is on a Monday morning. Usually we have our weekends to relax, but it seems, given, everyone's situation, it seems to be a time of busyness, lots of catching up and lots of doing. So just check in with yourself. And from here, we direct our attention into the breath. So it doesn't have to be anything other than it is. I want you to focus on inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. If at any stage the breath starts to feel a little bit tense or it creates strain through the body, just forget about it. Just bring it back to natural flow in and out, however that is for you. We'll just crack the eyes open just a bit. Roll the shoulders back and down again. Find some length through the spine. We're going to swivel over to the right-hand side, bring it through the front, and then over to the left, back around. So we're making a nice big circle, swiveling through the pelvis, finding a little bit of movement here, shifting your weight from one side to the other. And so what's quite nice is to sync the breath here as well. So inhale, shift forwards, and then exhale back. We'll just do one more round like this, and then we'll take it back the other way. Beautiful. Come back through center, and then take it to the other side. So first thing in the morning, you might find there's a bit of crack, pops, noticing any niggles through the body. We'll just do 2 more rounds here. I can definitely feel my hips are a bit tight here. Last round. And then coming all the way back, finding your center here, shifting forwards and back a little bit. Reach your arms out as long as you can, roll the shoulders back here. And then we'll come up and over towards your right. Reach long through your fingertips and press the sit bone down. So opening through the chest. Bottom ribs spiral forwards and up to the sky. Now this can be a little bit funny on the neck for some. So if that's you, just take your eye gaze down to the floor. If it's all right, then obviously you can take it up to the sky. Reach up and open through the sides here. And then top arm will come all the way down. So just floating it roughly around hip height. Now let your head just become a little bit heavier here. The bottom ear will drop towards the shoulder. Gently bring yourself all the way up. Head will come up lucky last, and then take it across the body, right hand to left knee. So usually in our twists, we'll inhale for length, and then exhale just to twist without forcing or cranking into the neck or the shoulders. One more just like that. Inhale for length. And then exhale, deepen that twist. Gently bring the spine back through center. Keep the legs where they are, and then reach your fingertips forwards. So keep pressing your sit bones down. Release the head if that feels all right on the head there. So depending on how tight you are in the hips or even the groin, you might feel that traveling down your legs, maybe even up to the lower back. Beautiful. Last breath here. And then exhale. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Just lean back and you're going to swap the legs over, so that less familiar side. Reach your fingertips long again, and then we'll take it over to the second side. So you can see here, I'm dropping my elbow down, but you don't want to lift up through the hip. Keep wherever that is for you. Elbow might be lifted, might be down. As long as you really start to open through the chest, that's our main focus there. Reach long through the fingertips. Nice big breath. Stretch and open through the side. And then release that top arm all the way down. It's a nice little opening, that nice stretch through the side of the neck there as well. Gently bring yourself up, nice long spine, take it over and across, left hand to right knee. I'm trying my best to mirror you, so my lefts and rights are obviously going to be different. So if I do get them jumbled up, I do apologize. I've only been doing this for 6 months. You'd think I'd get it. Beautiful. Gently bring yourself back to center and then crawl those fingertips forwards. Take it nice and easy on the neck and gently release to the ground. Unwedge the shoulders away from the ears. And then when you're ready, bring yourself all the way up. Take the legs out nice and long, give them a little bit of a shake. And then we'll send them to the corners. So if you're on a block or on a pillow, you can stay there and just, it's going to prop you up a little bit higher. Otherwise, just pop straight off it. Wriggle back and then lift up. So we're forwards on the sit bones. Now for this one, I like to flex my feet and it gives me that extra little stretch through the back of the legs here. So reach nice and long. We're in our star shape. And you want to start to rotate towards your right foot. So we've got little L-shaped hands. And then I want you to feel for a folding over. Now your legs might not be ready for this. So just bring your fingertips to the mat and have a nice long spine. So this is your option here if your legs are still feeling a little bit tight. Otherwise, you're going to stay lifted and fold forward. And it's all really depending on how open you are in the legs. We'll come all the way back up, nice long spine, rotate towards the other side, keep those arms in an L shape, and then fold forwards, option to drop the hands. So there's this hinging and lifting over. Beautiful. Inhale to come all the way up. We'll add a little bit of a flow for this one. So we'll exhale, reach it long. Inhale, return up, swivel to the other side. Exhale. Inhale, let's do one more on each side. Keep those sit bones grounded. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale, return. Last one. And then coming all the way up. Nice long spine and release down. Bring those legs back in. Maybe another wriggle through the knees if that feels good. And then we're going to cross the legs over, come onto the hands and the knees. I'll turn sideways just so you can see properly. Stacking the hands directly under the wrists, knees are stacked under the hips. From here, I want you to just sink the belly, take a few rounds of cat-cow, just allowing the body to move intuitively. And for you, you know, you don't have to just keep it at the cat-cow. If you want to get into the sides, if you just allow the body to move, allow the spine just to feel into itself. We'll just do 3 more breaths here. Nice, slow, long breaths. Last one. All right, so finding a neutral spine here, so a little lift through the belly. Wiggle your hands in a little bit closer now, so they're really feeling quite restricted here. So I'll get you to take the hand that's closest to me, bring fingertips to temple, and press and lift up out of that supporting hand. So what you're going to do is you're going to inhale and open through the chest. Now you won't really go that far. Really lift up out of the shoulder and then lowering back down. Little chest expansion here. The hips might move about a little bit, and that's okay. A little bit of movement's fine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And just notice how restricted you might feel. There's not a lot of movement through the thoracic. Last 2 here. And last 1. Beautiful. So using that same hand, reach it nice and long. Now we'll slide the opposite leg out. So we're still working that supporting arm. I want you to float that leg up to the sky, keeping it in line with the hip. I'm going to tap it down and then lift it up. So the breath, we inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, neck is long, eye gaze down to the ground. Last 1. And pop that one down. Slide the hands and the knees back to center. Now that working supporting arm, I want you to spin onto it. So it's my right arm, it might be your left. We'll come into a modified side plank. Stretch the top leg out long, really stretch it out of the hip. Reach long through the arms. So mindful of this shoulder, not sliding forwards, wrap it back. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Now you might want to stay here, and that's totally fine. Listen to your body. Or you might float that leg up, flex the toes towards the face. So really start to feel glute activation here as well. You can stay here or taking a little bit further. You're going to bend the knee, grab maybe a sock, maybe a toe. You might not be able to grab something today, and that's totally fine. Just honor where you are. We're going to be here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release without flinging the legs. Come back onto the hands and the knees, and then take a little child's pose. So I do understand it gets a little bit risky. So use this opportunity just to roll through the wrists. When you're ready, make your way all the way up onto hands and knees. Now we're going to take the opposite hand, so fingertips to temples this time. Supporting arm, stretch it, lengthen it nice and long. We'll inhale, rotate away, and then exhale to lower. So we don't usually do too much to strengthen our wrists, maybe in our downward dog. So it's really important to continue to spread through the 5 fingers here. Press your index knuckle down and your pinky knuckle down. And here, we hope to avoid any sort of dumping into the wrists. Opening out. Last one here. And pop that one down. Reach the arm nice and long. Reset through the torso here, so no dropping through the hip. We're going to lift that leg up. Big breath in here. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. See if you can hug your supporting thigh inwards. So no leaning over. Last 3. Inhale for 2. Exhale, lower. Last one. And lowering down, spinning onto that second side, opening out for that delicious side plank here. Feeling really open through the chest. Press the hips up. And then maybe floating that leg. Flex the toes. Thigh is engaged. And when you're ready, maybe grabbing a toe or that foot. Last 2. Last one. Slowly release, coming back onto the hands and the knees. Oh, that is quite nice. Sit the hips back. Little roll of the wrist here. My jumper is coming straight off. Safe to say I'm warm. Stay in your child's pose for 2 more breaths. And then making your way back up onto all 4s. Now tuck the toes under, come into a downward facing dog. Again, spreading evenly through the hands. Feel free to pedal the feet here. We don't spend enough time giving those calves a nice little massage. So while you're here in your downward facing dog, just check in. Are my shoulders wedged up by my ears? Slide them away. Little drawing in of belly button here. And then give your head a little shake, a little nod. Maybe closing down the eyes as well if that feels good for you. Finding some stillness through the feet. Walk your toes a little closer, so maybe just like a few centimeters closer, and then lift your bum up to the sky. So you're really in an A-frame here. Knees are gentle here, and feel for your spine stretching, like really stretching nice and long. Stay here for 1 full breath in and out. Walking your toes toward your hands this time. And then coming into a forward fold. So feet are hip width distance, knees are bent, maybe grabbing a hold of either elbows. And just allow the body to sway here. You might find you want to rock forwards and back, maybe side to side, maybe a combination of all. So our forward folds are really, really good, obviously, for the legs, just to take some pressure out of the lower back as well. And from here, allow the hands just to fall heavy to the ground. As you inhale, slide the fingers up the shins, straighten through the legs. This is our halfway lift. And then as you exhale, you fold and melt the spine, release the head. So we'll do 2 more just like that. So you'll inhale, straighten the legs slightly. Eye gaze will come forwards. And then exhale, forward fold. Last one. And exhale. Rolling on up Take it to the sky, so press through the feet. Sweep the arms up and over, big breath in here. And then exhale, dive it down, dive it forwards. Let's do that halfway lift again. Inhale. And then exhale, press your hands into the mat and then step back into your downward facing dog. So from here, what we're gonna do is we'll shift forwards into a plank. Now I'm gonna drop my knees. It's a little bit more gentle. If you are feeling keen and ready, you can always lift the knees. So shoulders are stacked over the wrists, belly draws in. Now, as you shift forwards, hug the elbows in towards the midline and then lower yourself. Come all the way down. Press the toes into the mat, roll the shoulders back and down, and then lift the chest. Lower as you exhale. Let's do that again. So press into the palms, lift through the chest. Inhale, exhale, lower. And again, inhale. And lower. Last one, final one here. And exhale. Press through the hands, child's pose. Sit the hips back. Enjoy that nice stretch through the spine here. Belly is nice and soft on top of the thighs here. On your next inhale, shift forwards. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Walk your toes to your hands. Again, gentle bend through the knees. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, melt the chest. Bend the knees, press through the feet, take it all the way up, rolling up through the spine. Arms reach up and over. Forward fold, dive it through. Halfway lift here. Downward facing dog as you step up. Shift forwards into your plank again. Modified option always welcome. And then lower yourself for 3, for 2, for 1. Beautiful. Let's take our arms out to the side, so nice and wide. Lift the elbows. Nice long spine. And then what you'll do is you'll peel the spine up. So my shoulder blades are really dragging me up and then lowering down. So head will come up last, little look to the front of the mat, and then exhale, head will come down last. Just this little cobra here, a little peeling of the spine. We'll do 2 more here. And 1. Coming all the way down. Reach your arms down by your side. Let's flip the palms down. So you can press into the mat here. Roll the shoulders back and down. Now there's this internal lift through the belly. So this lift is going to support front and back. I want you to be mindful as we lift up that we aren't crunching and dumping into the lower back. So use your palms, press into the mat or into the floor. Keep your neck nice and long, little lift of the chest. Now, if you find that if you tend to sort of crunch into the neck, you get neck pain, little tilt of the chin down. I'm personally working on strengthening my neck extensors, all those tiny little muscles in my neck. This one's a really good one. Keep it lifted for 3 or 2 and release down. Turn one cheek to the side. You can take a little sway of the hips from side to side. And then we're going to bring it back, same thing. Now this time you can keep it at the same option here with the palms connected to the mat. Otherwise, to take it a little bit deeper, you're going to float the palms above the mat, squeeze the shoulder blades, reach fingertips towards the feet. Now here, you might want to float the legs up to hip height, no higher. We don't want to go too crazy. Keep everything squeezing in. We're here for 3, for 2, and 1. Take the other cheek to the side. A little sway through the hips. Now our full bow is we're going to bend the knees, grab a hold of the feet. Please keep your knees in, so no squeezing out. We want to imagine you've got a block wedge between your inner thighs. Now, as you come up, I want you to kick your feet into your hands and bring your hands, so pull your feet in towards your glutes. So there's that push-pull feeling. Keep your neck nice and long, eye gaze is down. Keep it lifted for 3, for 2, for 1, and release down. Bring your hands forwards, make a little pillow. Sway the hips maybe if that feels good. And then from here, I want you to reach your arms out nice and long, reach them up the mat. Legs will come out just a little bit wider than hip width. We'll float right arm and left leg. So floating it up and then lowering it down. The head will lower as well. Swap over. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. So that supporting arm will help you lift up a little bit taller. Keep pressing pubic bone firmly into the mat. No swaying from side to side if possible. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Now from here, we're going to add a little bit of coordination. So reach right arm down by your side, left arm reaching long. Still continue that lifting up. But as you exhale, swap over. The arms will reach and swap end to end. Lifting up on an inhale. And then as you exhale, swap it down. Little swimming combination here. Exhale, lower. Legs are active here. But I just want you to notice if there's too much clenching or too much activation. Finding some softness through the body. Last 2. Last 1. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up. Child's pose. Allow the body and the breath just to fully settle here. And from here, floating up onto the hands and the knees, tuck the toes under and then find your downward facing dog. Allow your dog now to just be a little bit wider. So earlier on we stepped in, we're going to step nice and wide. Feet will come a little bit wider as well. Press through your hands, lift the hips up nice and high. Maybe straightening through the legs, maybe pedaling if you need that again. Set the shoulders back and down. And then we'll just take the heels over to the right hand side, a little swivel through the hips and the ankles, and then come up, take it over to the other side. And again, inhale to lift, exhale over to the right. Inhale to lift, exhale. Beautiful. Finding your center, feet will come back to your hip width distance. Now, step your right foot through. Actually, step your left foot through. We'll do left. I'm gonna mirror you. So from here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come all the way up on a breath. So you're in your crescent lunge here. I'm on my back toes, reaching nice and long through the fingertips. So before we go any further, bring your hands to your hip bones. Now you might not have a mirror or you might not be able to see yourself, but just feel with your hip bones. We want to keep them as square as we can. Sometimes we tend to lift up through the hip or dump down. I want to imagine our hip bones are like two headlights. And then reaching fingertips up nice and tall. Inner thighs will hug towards one another. And once you've got your balance, you can start to shift forwards into that front leg. Really start to feel that back leg fire up. Stay with your breath here. Exhale. So from here, I'm going to bring my hands back down to my hips. I'm going to open out into my warrior two feet. So back leg is parallel to the front there. And then we're going to reach nice and long. Nice, long, tall spine. Stretch yourself as wide as you can. And now you'll notice there'll be that little burning sensation through the front thigh. Sink a little bit deeper. We're not going to be here for too long. For 3, for 2, for 1. Stretch through that leg. Oh, yes. Parallel the feet now. And then we'll shift over to the back of the mat. So over towards your right. Now, if you've got a block or a pillow, you can use that. Otherwise, just come to your fingertips. Nice long spine here. Tailbone, sit bones are reaching towards the back. A little draw in through belly button. So if you're sitting down constantly, or you do a lot of running, you might find that your legs are very tight, like the rest of us. So this one's really, really good. You can play around with it, sink a little bit deeper. You'll feel that opening through the groin. Now, we're going to add a little bit of flow here. So we're going to inhale straight legs and then exhale over to the other side. Keep this toe facing forwards if you can. Inhale up and over and then exhale to the side. We'll do a couple more. Take it up and over, maybe sitting the hips back a little bit more. And then over. Let's do that one more time. And then take it over. Coming all the way, so back to the top of the mat. Swivel around and then find a downward facing dog. Take your feet wide again. Reset through the hands. Swivel the heels over towards the right. And then over to the left. One more round over towards the right. And to the left. Finding hip width distance through the legs. This time, swap over, second side. So what I'm gonna do, so I don't, oh no, I'll spin around. You guys stay put. I'll go the other side. And then come on up for your crescent lunge. Now, if you're anything like me, my balance is pretty shot this morning. I'm feeling very wobbly. So this is the case for you. Just take a wider stance. Hands to hip bones. And then find some length through the spine. Shift a little bit deeper into that front leg. Glutes are active. Quads and hammies are active here. Let's hold for 3 or 2 and 1. Place your hands to your hips, open out warrior 2 feet. Stretch the arms nice and wide. So with our warrior 2 as well, our rib cage is stacked over our hips. Some people will want to do this. You want to keep everything stacked and in line. Reach nice and long. We're not here for very much longer. And then straighten through that leg. Oh, parallel those feet. Bring your hands to your hips this time. Press through the outer foot. So there's a little dome through the inner arches here. Now we're going to shift forwards, grow long through the crown of the head, and just hinge, folding forwards. Bring your hands to the mat or to your prop, and then just hang out here for a moment. Sway the head, maybe the shoulders. Continuing to press through the outer edge of the foot. You'll start to feel that opening, hopefully, through the outer seams of the legs there. From here, bringing your hands directly into the middle of the mat. Let's take right arm to the sky, little opening here. Plug that bottom shoulder back. Reaching all the way down, swapping over, left arm to the sky. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time. Sit bones reach to the back. Maybe taking your eye gaze up with you. And down. Up and over. And down. Beautiful. So from here, walk your hands back to the top of the mat. We're going to jump that back leg in, forward fold. This time, instead of grabbing a hold of elbows, wrap your hands around the back of the legs. Bring yourself in, make yourself nice and small. And then just allowing the body to let go of that. Slowly start to stack the spine. There's no rush whatsoever. Once you come to standing, roll the shoulders back and down. Just notice here, you might want to close down the eyes here as well. Just notice how the body feels. We've moved, we've stretched, we've twisted. I'm cracking the eyes open if they were closed. We're just going to take it into some balance here. So bring your feet hip width distance. Before my head looks like it's being chopped off, doesn't it? So we're going to just lean over to your right. Notice how that feels, taking all of the weight here. And then lean over. Beautiful. Take it all the way over to our first side. Plug this leg up. So hover the foot just an inch. I'm going to step onto my mat here. Plug everything up. Legs are active. Now bend the knee at a 90 degree. You can keep your hands on your hips, or if you want to take them out into a T shape, whatever feels comfortable. Flex the toes. Just breathe here. So you want to keep the knee supported as much as possible. Slowly pop that foot down, shift straight over to the other side. Eye gaze is forward or up. Beautiful. Take that one down, take it straight to the other side. This time, straighten your leg, flex your foot. Yes, my leg is feeling quite heavy. Send that leg back down and then shoot it back. It doesn't have to go far. Just want to tilt forwards. Beautiful. Balance is looking pretty good. Take straight to the other side. Ooh, balance is not on point. Flex that foot, lift the leg up. Supporting leg is working. And then we shift. Oh yes, got the shakes on this side. Beautiful. Slowly come back. Find even amount of weight through both feet. Now we're going to lift up onto both tiptoes. Eye gaze is forwards. Slowly lower with control. Let's do that one more time. And lowering all the way down. Bring our legs nice and wide. Reach the arms up to the sky. We're going to take it up and over. Nice big stretch here. And over to the other side. One more time, up and over. And over. Beautiful. Release those hands down. Bring the feet heel toe just underneath the hips. And we'll finish. We'll do 3 roll downs. So in your own time, you're going to exhale to go down, inhale to come up. Take it as slow as you need, maybe closing down the eyes. So peel the head and the shoulders. Allow everything to be heavy. And sometimes it's nice to finish class, you know, the opposite way. We're so used to finishing on our backs. It's a nice way to start the week, start the day. Hopefully, legs and body will be feeling energized. Last one here. Once you've come all the way up, sweep the arms up, take a big breath in. And exhale, side out. Thank you guys so much. We are all finished for today.